I am so excited to be a part of the Real Housewives of New York City. It happened the perfect time for me. I was living in Florida, and it was just such a great excuse to get back to New York, where I'm supposed to be here. This is my town. I love New York and energy, all of it. I'm just, I could not be more grateful that the, show came about, and I had zero hesitations to be a part of it. It was perfect timing, and just thought, why not? I'm older, a lot has happened in my life, and I think that kind of prepares you for things like this. I felt like after everything I went through last year, I can take the Housewives. I can, if those girls try to bring anything, any heat my way, I can bring it back. I haven't caught every single season, but of course I've watched the Real Housewives of New York, of course, all the time. And I mean, I knew Sonja well going into the show. I also knew Luann. So I at least had those girls sort of, I guess, on my side in a sense. Such a great way to come into the show and move in with Sonja. Such a dear friend. It's just so nice of her to open up her house for me, and all my furniture was in Florida, and just so nice just to, she said, come live with me. Her daughter is at school, and so it's just nice to keep everything in storage and just come. Had a couple bags, and had to buy a lot more clothes when I got here with the weather, because I all had like Florida clothes. I needed more winter gear and boots and hats and everything. But no, it was a great experience. Sonja, I could not be more grateful that she opened up her townhouse for me, and I got to have my own floor in her daughter's room with a lot of stuffed animals, and but I didn't realize that there were rules that I start to learn later, and I got in trouble for taking the elevator too much, and I'm not allowed to have any guys over. And there's several, but another one was, she has an assistant named Connor, and I found out that I basically was not really allowed to speak to him because I'd be taking him away from her. And I wasn't even asking him to do anything specifically, but just I think the nature of, Connor was for her. He lives in the house too, so it was the three of us living there. But so it was, tricky. I couldn't really speak to him. I didn't want to get in trouble, So it's funny because, when you're our age, I'm 41 and living with, another adult, it's true. It's a balancing act. But again, I'm so grateful, and it's funny. She's great. The townhouse it's fun.
That is so funny. She has rules. I wouldn't expect that.
I didn't expect it either, and I wish I had known about the rules in the beginning of moving in with her. But I learned. I learned as I went along.
That is
little bumps in the road, but
So when she started telling you these rules, was she are we going to see this on the show?
Oh, for sure you'll see the rules on this show, because they definitely play out. I she even verbalizes, sort of critiques my house guest behavior, I guess, to some of the other girls. I think I'm a great house guest, but maybe not so much to her sometimes. So, well, it definitely, we have some rough patches throughout it, because, anybody living together, she's like a sister to me. Sometimes she feels like she's sort of the role. I live in her daughter's room, so I think sometimes she forgot that I'm her friend and not her daughter sometimes. But also, we're just sisters, and sisters can, we can fight and then we're fine, so it's hard to live with somebody. Knowing Sonja coming into it was great, and she introduced me to a bunch of her friends, and, I became close with Carol. She's awesome. I love her, and she's amazing style. Dorinda I love the girl. At first, when I met her, I was a little taken back because she's very loud, very aggressive in a sense. Doesn't hold back at all. But that's her, and that's what you've grown to love about her. She is just herself, and when she comes out, and sometimes she gets very animated, and these fingers start going like this. I'm like, the pointers are out. The pointers are out. Oh my God. It's funny. I love her. She's become a really good friend too. Sonja and I definitely have our ups and downs, because when you live with somebody, it's like a sister and family, and you can fight, but then you love each other, and the next second you're fine. And, so that is somebody that I feel like, going into the show, and I was, we felt a lot closer. I think, things when you live together get a little tricky, but she's amazing. I still love her, and she's so generous to let me stay with her. And Bethenny, everyone always asks me about meeting Bethenny, and she's so funny. She is hilarious, and she's so confident, and she's a smart girl. she can be hot and cold, and she sometimes, you know, you never know what you're going to get sometimes. One second you have like a great conversation, and the next day she sort of slightly disses you. But I think, you know, for her, friendships are really important to her, and she treats it like family, and she's just not going to open up to you right away or, you know, give you her friendship right away. But throughout, you know, the season, I feel like, you know, we do get closer, and I think she's, you know, she's really funny. I mean, I laugh at her all the time. I mean, just laugh with her, but, you know, she's funny.